Welcome players to this edition of Quicktime Events, where we talk about the latest in gaming as quickly as possible. What a year we've had. Let's look back at some of the biggest stories of 2018. Back in August at a Madden 19 tournament, Taylor, Spot Me Please Robertson, and Eli, True Boy Clayton were killed by a shooter that became upset during the tournament. In response to the tragedy, EA set up a campaign to raise up to $1 million for the victims' families. Shortly after that, Telltale Games unexpectedly closed down due to financial constraints. Employees were gathered together and all but 20 were given less than 30 minutes to pack their offices. In response to the closure, several former employees were able to find employment at other companies, and Robert Kirkman's Skybound was able to bring together enough employees to bring players everywhere the final season of The Walking Dead. Epic Games seems to have been blessed by the gods of gaming, as they're attributed to not one, but two massive upheavals in the industry for 2018. First, we saw the rise in prominence of the Battle Royale style of gameplay that every publisher since then seems to have integrated into their latest shooters. Fortnite has become one of the biggest titles in the world, even going so far as to garner a Game of the Year nomination at the Game Awards and winning at the Golden Joysticks. Second, Epic generated enough revenue, over $3 billion, from its wildly successful game to bring a new challenger to the PC Master Race scene, a direct competitor to Steam. Epic Games Store was launched in the second half of the year, offering new and existing developers a much more lucrative percentage than Valve's Steam platform did. While the rollout has had some issues, see Subnautica support, it's done what no one else could do for over 10 years. GG Epic. Loot boxes have been the bane of every player's existence, and finally the world's governments decided to take a stand. The Netherlands in April wanted there to be EU-wide regulation for loot boxes, as stories of outrageous spending were beginning to gain noticeable news time. A study at that time also found that 4 out of the top 10 games were in breach of the Betting and Gaming Act. In November, the USA's FTC announced that they'll be looking into the issue and report its findings after Democratic Senator Maggie Hassan made an official request. Say what you will about party lines, but this is something we should all get behind. Sony skipping E3 2019, probably one of the biggest announcements this year that saw many jaws hit the floor. A fixture since its inaugural event 24 years ago, Sony has graduated, finally found its calling, and will be leaving the nest. I'm willing to bet that Sony's going to show off the new PlayStation 5 for a 2020 release, and they want to control the story as only they know how. While it really shows how much EA has changed over the years, hopefully this means room for more developers to showcase their hard work on a larger platform without being outshone by the bigger guys.
Lottie-dottie, who gets the Gotti? Here it goes. All right, and the game award for Game of the Year goes to God of War.
Finally, God of War is Game of the Year for the Game Awards. Beating some stiff competition in games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Spider-Man, Sony Santa Monica walked away with the biggest prize of all. They also received 5 awards from the Golden Joysticks in November. Good job, Sony Santa Monica. Now it's time to get the story going again. While that covers this year, let's take a look at some upcoming titles for January. On January 15th, The Walking Dead Final Season Episode 3, titled Broken Toys, will be coming out. Gage might be covering that one, so keep an eye out for some videos on that. A few days after that, expect on the 18th to see Ace Combat 7. I'll be showing some gameplay from that as well as my initial impressions. And on the 25th, we've got the Resident Evil 2 remake dropping and Kingdom Hearts 3. Tim, Gage, and I are all going to be showing you our initial impressions of the games, so be sure to take a look out on Grown in Gaming as well as any of our other channels but linked below. Now to end things on a feel-good note, have you ever wanted to play Doom with a randomly generated map? Have you ever wished you could hack your Roomba to play Doom? Well, I am proud to announce Doomba! Requiring some experience in coding and the willingness to potentially break your robotic vacuum, players can create randomly generated maps from the device memory. Consider this another step towards a singularity. Finally, 343 Industries announced a new partnership with Limitless to provide Halo-inspired prosthetics for young heroes who routinely and triumphantly beat the odds. Limitless is a Florida-based nonprofit that develops cost-effective prosthetics, donating them free of charge to their recipients. To learn more about Limitless, be sure to check out their website below. That's all the news I have this week for Quicktime Events. Be sure to hit the like button, read more about the topics discussed in the links below, subscribe for more content like this, and don't hesitate to check out some of our other videos on Grown in Gaming. Happy New Year!
Golden Gaming.